teammate Mekar, so we're jumping into a series that has already started just to be able to bring you as many games as possible.
Now, we are loaded into the map. It is going to be Whirlwind. They're in the vertical spawn positions, and in the top left position, we have the blue Protoss player from Team Property. It is Mekar. And his opponent down in the bottom left, the red Terran player, also from Team Property. It is Sjow.
Yeah, Sjow versus Mekar, two teammates who are going to be battling it out together. They'll be very familiar with the style that they will be playing. Of course, we're going to have to give the advantage to Sjow a little bit, just because of his name and his track record that he has. He should be the favorite to win this, and he's currently up a game, so he is living up to that name pretty well. And if he wins this game, he might end up playing against Zictamini. Zictamini is currently facing off against the last Chinese player in the bracket named Lamborghini.
Now that would be a really good game to watch. So, well, actually, seeing Zictamini's game would be great. I hope to get in on that. Of course, Sjow, I've cast actually quite a few of his games recently, and that's on my YouTube channel. He's been doing really well. He's had some great shows, some great builds. So I'm
some great shows.
Yeah, pun intended. Of course, he did do really well. So I think he's got a good chance of taking this 2-0. Mekar, I have not seen him play very often. I did cast a team show match between Property and Copenhagen Wolves about a month ago, but I do not recall him playing in that. So a bit unbeknown to me what he's going to be doing. Of course, both of them are teammates, which always makes it a bit more stressful having to go up against a teammate in a qualifier like this. And as you can see, for the time being, we've got Sjow taking a very quick command center. It is a command center first build up against 2 gases for the Protoss player.
Mekar is going to be taking double gas before cybernetic score in a PVT, so I'm expecting something off of one base here, depending on how many probes he puts into those assimilators. If he only puts like 1 or 2 or 3 in, we might see something like an expansion anyway, but putting 4 workers in here, I don't know, that is pointing to at least a bit of a pressure with a Zealot Stalker Mothership Core, but maybe he's going to put a 3rd worker in those gases and we might see a Stargate or anything.
We may do. It is certainly a possibility. We've got 2 barracks following this up for Sjow at the moment. I think nothing crazy about that, nothing too ridiculous at the moment, but things can change very, very quickly. Neither player is actually scouted yet. That is the most shocking thing. They're both happily just sitting back being like, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it regardless of what you think. Of course, Mekar is going to be going to take his natural base shortly. I don't think there's anything we've got to worry about here, though, because these two are teammates, so obviously play against each other quite a lot, are very comfortable in what their builds are and what their playstyles are like, and that can lead to some very exciting mind games.
Yeah, it can. Very interesting build here by Mekar, going for 2 gas early on, but still expand. He is getting that Zealot and the... he's not getting the Zealot, actually. He's getting a Stalker and a Mothership Core early with that accumulated gas that he has. So a pretty early Mothership Core coming out here. Can use that for scouting, because scouting is something that he hasn't done a lot of yet. He's just now scouting with his first initial probe to the top right position, and it's going to be a long time before he finds where his opponent is.
It is going to be a long time, and that is never too fun. Poor scouting patterns. But yeah, in terms of what these two are doing, very passive, very macro-orientated games at the moment, so we should definitely be going into the game. I don't know if you know anything that happened in the first game, Lillian.
I have absolutely no idea what happened in the first game. This game popped up and I was like, invite, and we got invited and we started off pretty quickly. So I didn't have a chance to check the match history and see what kind of build orders they threw at each other in the first one. All that I know, and that everyone else knows, I suppose, is that Sjow was able to win that game. So he's only 1 game away. And he's playing a very macro-based opener here, whereas Mekar, he's also opening macro, but not playing as risky and as greedy as Sjow was.
No, he's not. And the one thing I do want to draw everyone's attention to is take a look at Sjow's APM right now. He is currently sitting at 74 average APM. That is ridiculously low at the moment.
It is low. What? Wow.
Yep.
Average 75 APM. That is really low. That's funny, actually. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
zero spamming occurring down there. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely the most effective clicks you have ever seen coming out of Sjow. But then again, what does he really need to micro? I mean, He hasn't really scouted much. He's not moving out with anything. He's just, building barracks, building submarines, building SCPs. It's not been very micro-intensive yet. I'm sure his APM is going to shoot up to like 200-300 as soon as he engages into, I don't know, drops and big battles in the middle of the map.
Well, for the time being, we've just got Stim +1 all the way coming down for Sjow. Meanwhile, the Robotics Bay nearly completed up for the Protoss player. That means some Colossus will be hitting the field very shortly. The Forge is also getting constructed. So these two, as I've said a couple of times now, really passively sitting back, teching up, macroing up, not wanting to engage each other head-on quite yet. So anytime soon, we should be seeing a bit more action.
Yeah, we should be. The first Colossus is underway. So let's go on a little bit about the build order of Mekar. He's gone 3 gateways into Robo, into a Forge, into a Robotics Bay, which is super standard. If there's a standard in PvT, I would say this is it. 3 gateways into Robo, into Colossi, into a Forge, and then either followed up by a quick Twilight Council and a quick +2 for a push, or another Forge to get another, to plan for the late game, so to say, and play defensive style. I think Mekar is going to take a third off of this pretty soon, as soon as he has 1 or 2 Colossi out.
So, that is your official prediction on what's going to be occurring. I'm waiting to see, because I must say, I don't want to predict what either of these two will do at the moment. I haven't seen enough of their games recently to know precisely what they could be doing, but as you already said, it just seems like for the moment they're just happy to sit back. They're going to be teching up. The upgrades coming up really nicely. +1 and Combat Shield are nearly done for Sjow. Meanwhile, the double Forge chrono boosting will mean that Mekar will get ahead in terms of the upgrades long term. But that is if we do get into the late games.
I hope so. I'm expecting to. He could still hit like a 2-2 timing push off of the 2 base. We do see the Twilight Council just now going down, so he will be able to start his 2-2 nice and timely. On the other side of the map, Sjow has been playing nothing but macro. He just now has his first Manavax popping out on the field, and that gives him the opportunity to push out, and that's exactly what he's doing in the Observer out of Mekar, or whatever. Sees the army move out. He knows this is coming, and he's going to be oh so ready with his 2 Colossi.
Now, as we can see though, we have got a big move out coming here from Sjow. This could be a really nice timing window. He's going to have Combat Shield completed. He has already got those 2 medevacs out. He's just going to be sending those over. Meanwhile, he's taking his 3rd. Such smart play here by Sjow. Really loving the fact that he's just executing basics brilliantly, just happily sitting back, expanding while pushing across the map at the same time. Gives him the map dominance. It means that Mekar does have to defend, no chance of a counter push coming in, and that is always going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun to watch. Hard to defend your natural and your main base here. I mean, as soon as Sjow sees, okay, his entire army is here, he might use his 2nd batch of Manavax to boost into the main base. He's actually going to engage here. Not the best force fields. Doesn't segregate a single unit there, but he does laser quite a few of them down. Sjow now very low on HP. Is he going to go for that drop? If he does, this Observer for Mekar is in a perfect position. This guy's got really good Observer placement. He's only got 2 Observers on the field, but they are in really clutch spots to spot for those drops to come in.
It will be a amazing position of those Observers. I think such a good point you made there, Lurlian, that really effective placement of those, and that gives you just the vision that you know when drops are coming in and you can basically defend against them nicely. But talking of drops, this is a big one on its way through. There are 3 Zealots there, but 4 medevacs are dropping a lot of units into this main base. In comes the pullback from Mekar. Those 2 Colossi desperately need to get back there. Lots of damage is being done. Nice spread on these units. Huge numbers of probes are getting taken out. 23 already. Just microing it back, making sure that he can get out of there quite safely. Loading up those medevacs, boosting away into the distance. 24 workers killed. That would show 59 SCVs to 32 probes.
That was an entire base worth of probes annihilated there. Mekar not really reacting as well as he could have there, and now he's down to 85 supply, and Sjow's macro has not missed a beat. He expanded to a 3rd when he was pushing out with his army into the when he was trying to punish Mekar for wanting to take a 3rd, and was able to kill that many probes. He's had that 3rd base forever. He's got 2-2, just well, actually quite significantly behind his opponent. I guess that's something that Mekar has going for himself, but is a single upgrade advantage going to make up for 30 army supply? I don't know, Kev.
Oh, look at this. Straight away, another big drop coming down into the main base. All of the army was out of position. There was a couple of Stalkers there trying to defend it, but there just was not enough to deal with so many medevacs. The Archon goes down. The 2 Colossi are desperate to get back in here and deal some more damage, but just look at this stutter step. It's going to demolish everything. A quick pickup, back out of there. Sjow really keeping his opponent pinned back. No way he's going to be able to secure a third base. He's just sitting under 30 workers ahead, plus those 3 mules. Good economic lead, I'd say.
Yeah. He's got double the amount of workers. He's got mules in his favor. His upgrades are going to be catching up to his opponent in a second, who is going to be very, very low on income. We could bring up that income tab for a second, and it's going to show how badly skewed the situation is right now. Mekar, he's not even reproducing probes. I think he's going to all in. Yeah. What does it say? He's got to.
He knows the third base is there. If you know the third base is down, then you've got absolutely no choice but to kind of all in when you've got such you're on 2 bases and you know that you've had such a bad economical damage done to you. So now Mekar, he's going to try and end this Sjow though. He's got, well, nearly double the armor supply.
Oh, that was so beautiful. The way you said it, it sounded like he's going to try to end the show.
He was. He's going to try and end the Sjow, but Sjow is going to end it himself, I think. These 2 Colossi are just not going to have any luck. 6 Vikings already out. We score 1 Marine stimming away from a Zealot. This is like the most entertaining race I have ever seen in StarCraft. The Marine was successful though, but here comes the big engagement in the natural base of Sjow. We can see that the Vikings tearing apart those Colossus, getting them down very quickly. No choice but for Mekar to GG out. There's